My name is Evan Harrington. Why did that happen? What is this? What is the diabolical science plan here? And he goes, it's Buffalo Pepsi. You want to try some? Look at him like, Buffalo Pepsi? I was like, look at him like, there's different flavors?
The biggest Jags fan of all time, Justin Bachman. To be biased, but Duval. I'm your host, Frank the Tank Lopez. I'm ready to fight a kid if it happens. If one kid says one dumb thing tomorrow about Baker Mayfield or anything, I'm punching a kid. Boom!
Mr. Brotherly Love here, Chris Giacobello. I know how to turn the mics on, Dan.
That's a good thing to know.
We got it. Progress.
My name's Dan Dale, a.k.a. Double D.
You're quiet. I can barely hear you.
Why am I quiet? Why am I quiet?
Dan, you're quiet.
How am I ever quiet?
Here is The Blitz on 91.3 FM.
Live here from Buffalo State University.
Welcome back to The Blitz. Right here on 91.3 WBNY Buffalo, Buffalo's original alternative since 1982. I am your host, Frank the Tank, starting you off here with a beautiful week. Joining me in studio is Dan the Man, Double D, Dan Dale.
Yes, sir.
And I just see some beautiful faces over there in Studio B. Mr. Brotherly Love, Chris Giacobello.
Here. How we doing today, fellas?
Beautiful. And over there next to him with the lettuce, with the locks on him, from Duval, Justin Bachman.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are here today.
How's everyone doing? How are we feeling today?
Feeling great. Quick birthday shout out to the greatest athlete of all time, Cristiano Ronaldo. Hopefully he's listening to the Blitz, but you never know.
Sure.
You never know, man.
Greatest of all time is insane, but, whatever.
Greatest
your opinions.
Forward of all time.
That's still inaccurate. But you know what? Happy birthday, Cristiano Ronaldo. I hope your chiseled abs are doing whatever you want to do.
It's chiseled abs. That's very, very detailed.
I'm not wrong.
Yo, how you know that, Frank?
Do you look at his Instagram?
No.
Do you watch the game?
Do you see his celebrations? This man takes off his shirt every time he scores.
I would too if I looked like that.
Yeah, if I
I would too.
If I look like that, yeah, no doubt about it.
I'm wearing a Speedo wherever I go. That's not wrong. We're starting you off here with a beautiful, beautiful Monday. It's only 37 degrees outside, so if you're out, you won't freeze, as bad as you normally would.
Very true. Very, very, very true.
But you know what week we're in now? We are officially in
Pro Bowl week.
Stop it.
Shows 3 times a week.
Yes, we are back to 3 times a week. So if you love the Blitz and you love us, we're back full time, baby. But no, we are officially in Super Bowl week.
Indeed.
One of the worst times, but also one of the best times. Said it last week.
Nothing but press conferences
and you know
terrible opinion.
In a few years, I hope I'll see all of you on Radio Row. Okay, thought that would be like an uplifting thing. Like, aw, you guys so sweet.
I don't know what that is.
Never mind.
We're all gonna
you gave us half a second to answer that.
Yeah, you quite literally went, I hope everybody makes it here.
Never mind. I'm preying on all of your downfalls now.
Wow.
Oh, that's
wow.
That's
what did I
upsetting.
do to you?
No radio Hollywood is crazy.
You didn't. It's a give and take.
After I said you was breathtaking,
and I said you're ethereal. What is officially Super Bowl week between the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers? Snooze, boring, don't care at all.
Yeah, but you know.
Let's get to those Gunners highlights.
Yeah.
How about that?
Arsenal won 3-1 yesterday against Liverpool. We're back in. We're not out of it yet.
2 points away from first place.
You know what? I'm just happy to be here again. Just like last year. Just like last season. If you don't follow soccer, Arsenal has been disappointing.
They have a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's
still funny that Man City can be on top of the league again in 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
They have 2
disrespectful.
games in hand, yeah.
They should
That's the sad part.
They should be demoted.
Demoted.
I mean, they might get relegated with those the financial fair
fine
play.
stuff,
Yep.
right?
And I think that is something that needs to be seriously considered because I'm sick and tired of Man City.
At least my team's like close to top 5 when they suck.
What?
Man U, baby.
Oh,
Oh,
miss
baby,
the
I
old
got
Man
Harry
U.
Maguire. I got the slab
Harry
head.
Maguire.
Harry Maguire.
listen,
What a TikTok
that's
meme.
England's cornerstone right there, all right? I don't want to hear anything bad about him. But,
I don't know about that.
it's time for our sport.
The American version?
The American
American.
World Cup.
Foosball.
The American World Cup.
Until we make it to the World Cup, this is still our World Cup.
In the words of Mama Boucher, foosball.
Foosball.
His footed devil.
Indeed.
But do you guys have any expectations for the Super Bowl? I know we're early in the week. They're getting to training practice and just
I'm here for the commercials.
yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I basically have told everybody that I know who's asked me, oh, what are your thoughts on the Super Bowl? I'm just there for the commercials, man.
Yeah, I'm
They're
excited
not
for
even-
a new
they're not
Deadpool
even
3 trailer. Hopefully,
Yeah, rumors that Deadpool 3 trailer's
if the
going to
Deadpool
drop.
3 trailer drops, that'll probably be the highlight of my night.
Yeah, that's facts.
Anything else I don't really care about. I'm just gonna see what's the funniest one that makes me laugh and chuckle.
Well, I already know the funniest one.
The Paramount one.
The Paramount
Oh my
Plus
God,
one,
that
baby.
one was great.
I'm so
With
mad
Peppa
that they
Pig.
released it early.
Yeah.
I really am ticked because it is so great. You're not made for the big moment.
You're not made for the big moment to
wow.
It's just the fact that Paramount Plus
That he
has
agreed to
two
do that.
AFC East quarterbacks now doing that commercial.
And one
Versus
of them
Josh
has been
Allen.
verbally assaulted
Yeah, he got
by a commercial
by Sir Patrick Stewart.
by Sir Patrick
Which
Stewart,
you know what? I think
Mr. Star Trek.
if I were to ever get verbally demeaned, I would want it to be by Sir Patrick Stewart.
I mean, yeah.
I love how he just rips off what he was wearing. He's wearing an old timey
Yeah.
Like
With the
football
old
gear.
helmet and the...
Right.
Yeah,
And
if
then at
you're-
the end, they look to Peppa, the thrower.
oh yeah, so something
I was
made out
just
of
waiting
pigskin.
for Josh to come in and go nope, bye.
If you haven't seen the commercial, I will go look it up. Sir Patrick Stewart throws Arnold,
Arnold,
from
what
Hey
a
Arnold.
There
And then Jeff Probst is there.
Oh, and Creed is there, and they're singing high. It is a cinematic masterpiece of a commercial that I wish we could have waited to see on Super Bowl night. But you know what? I'm glad
we got it
then.
early.
But there's not really much expectations for the Super Bowl. I mean, if Patrick Mahomes wins,
Isn't the awards ceremony the day before?
It
Like the
is.
awards.
Yes.
like
they do?
regular
NFL honors.
season awards?
Yeah.
All right.
We can talk about that.
Any predictions?
Lamar's MVP. I
I want to say CMC,
for me it's CMC.
Really?
but
I don't know.
It's Josh
man.
Allen, baby.
I don't know. I think they're gonna give it to Lamar, but I don't think Josh
Because
Allen's
they're
out of
stupid.
the question.
No.
yeah.
I don't think Josh Allen's out of the question. It probably should be CMC.
It should. I think CMC at least gets offensive player of the year.
He's gonna
Yeah.
get that, which
He
is still
lashed that up.
ridiculous.
Because it would be more of an argument if Tyreek actually hit 2,000 yards, which he was on pace for.
Yeah,
But unluckily, he got the
didn't get
injuries.
it, Yeah.
I mean, he still is the lifeblood of Miami offense, but you can't deny what McCaffrey has done for San Francisco.
No.
Didn't he
Especially
have 14 straight games? or
Yeah.
something
He
like
had a
that
streak
with
of
touchdown?
scoring
He's
a
a
touchdown
fantasy
every
god.
game.
Insane.
You know who stopped that streak? Do you know what team put a stop to it? Even though we got blown out 34-3.
And didn't make the playoffs.
Duval, baby.
And now you guys are questioning if Trevor Lawrence is actually your guys' future.
That's rumors are rumors.
But we were.
Are you into that? Do you believe in that conversation happening right now?
Brother, do you see the hair that still manes off the back of my
That's
head?
true. Listen, it is still flowing.
No,
I think
can't
it's a
go wrong with the
conversation to be
flow.
had. Is
It's
Trevor
absolutely-
Lawrence?
It's absolutely not a conversation to be had.
You don't think so?
No.
I think maybe after next year. Then
I
you
think
have that
depends-
conversation.
You know why it's not a conversation? Because our offense is not the problem. It hasn't been.
Well,
Our defense
I mean,
is
it's partially a problem.
our defense has been mid to below average
But I will
for
say
the past
that
3 seasons.
the reason your offense comes into question is because it seems like unless if Zay Jones is playing, You guys just don't do well.
It's just a
I
consistency
can't
issue.
believe the teetering, the one weight that decides from good to bad is Zay Jones, a former Buffalo Bill who is well known for just freaking levitating off the ground and standing back up.
Hang on. No, it has nothing to do with Zay Jones. Our offense runs through Christian Kirk, and we lost him for 7 games. And because of that, we were double covering our 2 wide receivers that can actually catch passes, or I should say players that could catch passes, and Evan Ingram and Calvin Ridley. So we were forced to check down to guys like Tim Jones, who is a less known D.D. Westbrook. And
Oh my God.
like, we need wide receiver depth. I would love an offensive tackle. That'd be fantastic because Antoine Harrison was buns.
Straight cheeks. I could say cheeks.
Just yeah. It was not good. But no, Trevor will be there for.
I hope so.
He'll be there. He'll get a contract extension. You know who else is going to get a contract extension and continue playing in Duval? Is that guy Josh Allen?
He is.
There is absolutely no way he goes anywhere. If Shad Khan manages to screw that up, brother, I will go to Jacksonville myself and go into that press box with dangerous objects and do dangerous things.
Whoa. You've heard it here first.
FBI, it's a joke. It's a joke. I'll be right there with you.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
It's a joke.
I do have a little game. Hello. I have a little game.
All right, I'm into it.
So, just get your phones out.
My phone is next to me.
That's good. Just take a picture, use it as a writing utensil. Guess how much a Super Bowl ad cost
Oh,
in 2024?
I don't even want to know.
All right.
Oh, you want to know?
Like how much it costs to make it, or how much it
No,
costs
how
to
much
air?
it costs just
For
for the spot. 30 seconds.
Okay.
I'm dead on.
Because it is increased every single year.
That's
Well,
why
yeah,
I remember
of
the price
course.
of last year, and I have a feeling.
I
that
think I
it's
have
gone
a
up.
ballpark of last year's price, but I don't know. So I'm just gonna shoot out. I might be low.
I feel like someone told me the number like a couple years ago, and
Yeah, I remember last year,
Yeah.
so I'm assuming it went up.
It always
no
goes
doubt.
up.
Yeah, but like a little, like.
Oh, yeah, it always goes up by a couple 100,000.
Is that a hint?
No. No, that is not at all.
A couple 100,000. That's not what I was thinking.
I'm thinking like $9.2 million.
So Chris has got 9.2. Justin,
I went 4.7.
4.7.
I went 2.3.
Frank, you are completely wrong. You are not even
No
in the running.
hesitation
It was like
whatsoever.
1.9 last
You
year.
forgot to walk before you run.
What was last year? 2016.
You're right. I will tell you in 2023, or at least in 2020, we can go back 2020. 5.6 million.
Oh my God! I was.
So,
Jesus.
yeah, I'm probably low.
So I have to do some math real quick. Chris, you said 9.2, right?
Yeah.
And then Justin, you said what?
4.7.
Sorry, I'm doing this very slow on my computer. I could do.
He tells us to whip out.
I will tell you, you guys are off by like $100,000.
No way.
I will tell you from the range you are
Sad.
at. Chris, you won.
Dang, I should have said 4.7.
You were 2.2 million over.
Darn.
And Justin, you were 2.3 million under.
No way.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Well, technically, it goes to the low, but like it was fine.
All right, so.
I'm going to whoever's closer.
No, it's
this
close.
isn't prices right
All
here.
right, so,
Okay.
So what's the number? Give it to me straight
It
now.
is $7 million
Oh, my.
for 30 seconds.
Oh, per 30 seconds, it's 7 mil.
Wow.
That's usually what they kind of use as the denominator on how much
Brother,
time they give.
brother, let me ask you this: how many 30-second commercials are out there, brother? Like,
That
I
is
feel
true.
like commercials go at
Like 10, 15.
No. I mean,
Oh,
I
there's
feel like
a-
they go over. I feel like they go like.
Well, usually what happens is that
40,
they air the
45.
ad as a 30-second ad, and then they don't feel like paying for 30 seconds anymore.
They'll
So then
release
they
it on
cut
the
it
internet.
in.
Oh.
They cut it apart.
Yeah.
So like sometimes you see those ads that actually have a story, but it's like for some reason you're just jumping around on cuts, and it's just because it was a 30 seconds, and they're like, dang, we can't pay for that anymore.
Yeah, unless like you're a massive corporation.
Like an Amazon or a Google or
Yeah, you're not gonna, or you get funding from one of those companies.
what companies are you guys expecting for Super Bowl ads? Or some of your unexpected ones?
Like I said, Deadpool 3. If I don't get a trailer for Deadpool 3, I'm gonna be upset.
Right.
I feel like Oreo.
Oreo?
Because I saw like around Twitter, something's gonna happen on the 11th, and I'm pretty sure that's the day of the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
yeah.
Excuse me, what's happening? The
Not
11th?
like something like drastically, but they're gonna like announce something.
Right.
FBI.
Some of them do that as like a 10-second ad, and then they say more.
Yeah,
on,
it's like a
It's
See,
a
Dan
tease.
gets it.
It's a
Dan
tease.
gets it.
M&M's probably, Doritos.
Yeah, M&M's
Oh, no,
probably.
Oh, geez, not another Doritos commercial.
Yo, Burger King's definitely gonna be there.
You think Burger King?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yo, they're gonna quite literally start going Whopper, Whopper,
Have you seen
Whopper,
Whopper Junior Whopper.
Their stock and net worth has
gone up.
skyrocketed since it, so I can guarantee you they definitely will find a way to get
I
themselves.
know this
up.
is
I mean,
random, but
Amazon
doesn't
for sure.
didn't
Amazon.
Burger King buy Tim Hortons?
Ew.
What?
I don't think so.
I could have sworn they did.
Give it a goog.
That's
I was just drinking. I don't know. I was thinking about getting Tim's. You know.
ew,
I do
ew,
love
Do you not
ew.
like Tim's?
Dunkin'
you don't
all
like
the
Tim's?
way.
I agree.
I like
Oh!
Dunkin' to a
but
We
to a-
have to agree.
Chris,
But-
you're actually
you're
right.
right.
Burger King acquired Tim Hortons for more than $11 billion.
Oh my god.
And I'm
so
not
that-
even from Buffalo.
That's disgusting.
That is.
And you're telling me they
Hey,
still can't
hey,
make a good Whopper.
Look,
That's-
I bet there's a bunch of people out there that
That
will
probably-
disagree
yeah.
with you, Justin. Trust me, I'm sorry that Tim Hortons is only up here in Buffalo.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just not good.
no,
It's
Tim,
better than Starbucks.
Tim
That
Hortons
is-
I don't
That
drink
is
coffee,
agreed.
so I can't like
Yeah.
fight that.
Tim's
I
is
don't
just
drink
a little
coffee
bit
either,
worse
but
than
I get
Dunkin'.
like from like a guy who doesn't drink coffee, I get frozen hot chocolates or like
Okay.
just chocolate things because chocolate pretty much takes out the coffee taste, which I don't really care for. And I gotta admit, Tim Hortons is better.
I don't know.
Alright,
I'm
hang
a
on,
donut
man.
guy.
In my
so-
in my
Hang on,
mind,
man.
it's 10 times
As
better.
an unbiased coffee buyer who gets the same thing from any coffee shop that he goes to, a small 2 sugars, 2 creams every single time,
Double.
double. I can confidently say that Tim Hortons has better coffee than Dunkin' Donuts. However, Dunkin' Donuts in general, as like an entire place,
like everything else.
everything else is heads and shoulders above Tim Hortons.
Chris, I would like to say that merger that you referenced to was made in 2014. You remember something from 10 years ago. How do you remember that?
I remember. I
That
have
is a weird
steal-
thing to remember. Quite literally, 10 years ago, this man said, this is an important piece of
gonna
information
bring this
I
up
must
one
hold
day.
on to.
You know,
What business class were you looking to
I
take
could have brought it
on
up.
Burger King and Tim Hortons here, Chris? Look, you couldn't use it for sports management last semester.
I could have. I really could have.
if I could pick one of you guys and just pick out the little tiny things hidden in your brain, it would be one Mr. Brotherly Love, because this guy seems to know
Yeah, it was like
the most random
I don't know,
Fun
you just-
facts.
He does. He really does.
God.
Look,
That should be a
I learned
segment.
something, like, quite literally the saying is, wow, you really learn something new every day.
You do.
Quite literally, that man, you just stand next to that man, and it'll just tell you something random.
I
And
didn't know.
it's just like, I never knew that.
I gotta keep the people informed, Dan.
Chris, you're going to
Of
have
news
your
that
own
happened
trivia
10
show one
years
day.
ago.
It's fun facts.
Chris Fun Facts
Fun
on
Facts
ABC
was
at
great.
6 o'clock.
Oh, is that a new segment?
Our new segment.
a new segment of fun.
Dude,
facts
I
with
got
Chris.
an idea for a segment that we should do
I like to think I
sometime.
remember a lot of things.
I
This
talked
is
to
me.
I talked to Chris about this segment, and it's because I'm addicted to a video game called Ace Attorney,
Oh yeah.
which is quite literally a lawyer game. You are quite literally a defense attorney and must prove your client is not guilty, even though it's kind of rigged to make it be guilty. Music slaps. Recommend go listen to the soundtrack. Great soundtrack. But I thought if we ever had a disagreement here like a me and Harrington have
Oh God.
We need a
We
judge.
go to court now, baby. We have a judge. We can have a jury if there's extra people. We got the defendant. We got the opposite.
We have
The
an
prosecutor.
executioner.
Yeah.
What is that? I like this.
I'm for
it was
it.
a fine idea.
I'm really for it. I think that would be a
Look,
good
I
idea.
think all we gotta do is purchase a white wig, so whoever's the judge, we know is judge, because we will be doing more live recordings. Actually,
What do you mean?
Starting-
There's a whole storage thing right there. We'll go find like some weird hammer gavel thing.
right? And we gotta get a gavel.
and a powdered wig from the early days of Buffalo
Right.
State University. Huh?
Make sure we got the feather and the
Oh my
what are
god,
those things called?
the quill.
I had a brain
The
fart.
quill in the
I had
eye?
a
Okay,
brain
Chris.
fart.
Hang on a second.
What are we
This
doing?
guy-
Writing the Declaration of Independence here?
Hang on a second. This guy
After
over
you were
here-
just
I'm writing
talking
this in.
about.
I'm
guy
writing
over
this in.
here.
Order. Things are breaking down right now.
See, that's why it would be great,
Oh, having a gavel here would be sick for the producer.
wouldn't it?
I shouldn't do that
Look,
to my
I
phone.
feel like that has to be a main investment for every radio station now.
I like this idea of doing a court thing.
Yeah.
Coming in, saying your piece.
Yeah, exactly. You got evidence to support it,
We can do it like we did our show on Friday where we argued about Mike Evans.
You know
Yeah.
what? This would have been great for the Was It a Kick episode.
Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah, it would have been. Even though that was. I know you two.
That was an
were not
episode
there
of
at all.
Judge Judy
Please,
itself.
Yeah, I was like,
please
what
give
is
that
this?
show. Please give that show a listen. I don't care
Do you
how
remember
long
the-
you listen to it. You don't have to listen to the whole thing. Our listeners have to listen to the whole thing. You guys don't. But there is a major part where it was the Sabres versus the New York Islanders, and the last goal of the game that was deemed a goal was partially pushed forward.
No forward momentum at all of the leg propelling the.
He was propelling the puck forward into the net, and it caused a 42-hour discussion on
It
what
was
the
long.
heck. It was not only a trying to figure out the film of was it a kick or was it deliberate? Was it not?
We were breaking down.
We
words
brought
and
down
definitions.
words and we're like, propelling means, and I love
Oh my
Harrington for
gosh.
this because
And-
Harrington searched up the word for propel and he said a movement that is typically forward. And it was me, Dave Not From Ted's, and Tanner on a side. And then it was
I was with Evan.
you were with Evan. And I think, was Joe there? And I think Joe was on that side too. I don't know if Joe stayed
Joe was there from the
Switzerland
beginning.
or not, but quite literally, Harrington's like, yeah, it's a movement that typically moves forward. And then we're all like, well, it typically moves forward. It doesn't mean it has to, like, we just went full on,
It
like
was-
deciphering every word, picking up on every little mistake. It was one of the best shows I think I've ever been a part of. Because it was just so perfect in
Yeah.
how chaotic it was.
It was fun.
It was. It was.
It was chaotic fun.
You know what? Let's start. Let's slide into some news. We got some breaking news out of the MLB world.
Oh. I was hoping you were going to say NHL. I'm waiting for one certain thing.
I think I know what you're talking about. I'm not surprised that it happened, but
I'm waiting every day.
Kansas City Royals and their shortstop Bobby Witt Jr. have agreed to a 14-year deal with 11 million guaranteed, or 11 years guaranteed of it, and it is $288.8 million.
Yeah, you know how the other day we were talking about how, the MLB is just nuts.
Yes.
And you get a car. And you get a car.
And you
You
That's how
became
they're-
Oprah on
That's how
Friday?
they're handing
You
out
get 14 years,
contracts.
you get 11,
What
you
is
get
happening?
11.
Am I at the Oprah show? Is there something under my seat?
That's how the MLB contracts work, though. I
It's
feel
11
like
It's 11 years.
It is true. You're set
it's
for
ju-
life. You're set for life. You're set for life.
And I'm happy for him because coming out of the draft with him, and I was a big Bobby Witt guy. I still am. He's probably the only reason that I would ever tune into a Kansas City Royals game.
Well, it's even more disgusting that Patrick Mahomes is part owner.
Don't
Oh,
Don't bring him into
I
this.
forgot about
He
that.
did buy stock into it, I think. Or I don't know
Yeah,
how.
like 10
owner-
years too late.
Yeah.
Last
That
time
is
they were
so
relevant
true.
was the World Series.
Yep.
You know they haven't been back to the playoffs since they won the World Series.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it makes sense why. They've just gone through
Yeah, and all their
hell and back.
Yeah, they also, just like the Marlins, right after they won the World Series in 2002 when the Marlins won it, just said,
Let's just scrap
everyone
everything.
leave.
Yep.
Go.
Kind of like what the Toronto Raptors are doing with the 2019 squad.
Yeah, but
I mean,
they,
well,
were, they
NBA
weren't going to
reference.
repeat unless Kawhi was there, so it didn't really matter.
hey, but still, it serves the point that, some teams, after they win a game, they can't keep everybody because that helps up the players' prices. So sometimes you got to get rid of people. Even though it is weird in the MLB that you would do that since there is no salary cap and
Exactly.
you can sign
Other
for
than the
how much you
luxury.
want.
Yeah.
Literally, kind of the only rule right now is don't go over 500 billion a year or 500 million, like overall. Like that is the only rule that has been like made so far. I mean, maybe at some point they will go over the 500 million mark, but right now everybody's just kind of like, nah, stick to 350. We're okay with that.
I know, and there's this kind of like a political thing going on right now.
I just got jump scared
just-
by your face.
Why is this happening?
Armando took a picture of Frank for the website because our website still has me, Harrington, Joe,
and Tanner.
and Tanner. Tanner's not been here for a year and a half.
And Joe just graduated.
Yeah. But they zoomed in straight on his face. And I look over, I'm just like, oh.
I see you tapping. I'm like, it's not 3:00. I don't have to hit legal ID yet.
Well, we gotta leave at 3:00. Or,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
a little
Gotta
bit
leave a
before.
little
Shut
before.
up. Shut up.
Yeah, there's gonna be an hour of just Frank. So if you like Frank
And his voice.
and just Frank,
This is gonna be a disaster. This is gonna be a complete disaster.
You can talk an hour of baseball, though, Frank.
dude,
I
you
could
can
if you
talk
really
about
want to.
whatever you want.
Then maybe I'll save my little bit right now. I'll save this what I'm going to talk about. I'll move into the NHL news that I think you're talking about.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's a news I'm waiting to appear.
Oh.
I am waiting for it to appear one day.
I know we talked about.
If it ever freaking happens, Terry, Kevin Adams.
Oh, I know it. Well, I was going to play this. Everyone, just give me a second. Give me a second.
Second.
Am I going to jail? What is happening?
This is an ambulance sound because once again, Matthias Samuelsson is hurt.
Classic.
Once again, Matthias Samuelsson can't stay on the ice. It is All-Star Week. How did you get hurt? You're not at the
NHL's
game?
NHL's Anthony Davis.
Dude went straight up.
my God.
I'm going to practice myself to get hurt.
No one should be anywhere. You should be on vacation with your family. How do you get hurt? Unless you fell off like a bike in like Aruba or something.
And you know what's funny about that, too? Is that we signed that guy to a 7-year contract.
Yo, I know. That's what's making it worse.
Yep.
I saw the tweet and I was like, no.
I mean, he's been injured all year, so I don't hate the move, I guess. I mean, I guess you can be okay with it. It's not really, really the greatest thing for Matthias Samuelsson this season, and this is because of Joe DiBiase, is Sammy Squares. It's a guess of when Samuelsson will score next.
Never. It's not happening.
No, he did score once this year. It was actually, well,
A goal is a goal, Frank.
Frank, he's known for not scoring.
I
That's
know.
why it's a betting thing.
I know.
Okay? But, I mean, Granato said he had lingering injuries, and just by virtue of how he blocks shots and finishes hits, and your body is always banged up and sore, but this was an injury that happened in a game. Huh? What? But so what? He didn't do something during All-Star Week. He actually was playing through an injury and made himself look worse. Great. I'm so glad that we have so many defensemen that we have to deal with playing a guy who is out for the rest of the year.
At least Darlene looked. I didn't even watch Darlene in the All-Star game.
Dude, he made a pass to Sam Reinhart. I was like, where was it?
Yay!
Where is he? And then he made a pass to Connor McDavid. I'm like, oh, that hurts. That hurt inside.
That could have been your future.
I like how this story I'm reading about Matthias Samuelsson is just so short.
Oh,
It's like-
because he
like
does
it- like his
literally
time on the
nothing.
ice.
It's like
Dude.
4 sentences.
Okay, I would like to make note to non-hockey Buffalo Sabres followers. Do you remember Rasmus Ristolainen?
Yes.
He is just a glorified Rasmus Ristolainen who is not in the playoffs. The Flyers are going to make the playoffs with Rasmus Ristolainen, who everybody here in Buffalo thought was useless, will make the playoffs before the Sabres do.
Shout out Danny Briere for turning that team around.
It wasn't even Danny Briere. It was John Tortorella.
Listen, the Sabres will.
No, we won't.
Briere's GM, right?
No, we won't.
Or he's
Yeah, I think he is.
something. I can't
GM.
remember.
The Sabres have to. They're not making the playoffs, but they have to like.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, maybe there's. I'm not being optimistic here
I was
by
gonna
any
say,
means.
What are you
but,
saying right
but
now?
I will use Joe DiBiase again. He did tweet out like the points Sabres were behind at this point of every season, and in 2014 it was 24 points. 2015, 28 points. 2016, 11 points. 2017, 7 points. 2018, 21 points. And then really the worst one left is 2022 with 20 points. So at least right now they're out by 10 points. So maybe, I guess if you're a very optimistic fan, you can say, well, it's not as bad as 2022. But if I had time,
It's getting bad.
if I had time for a rant today, I would definitely go on a 30-minute rant.
I will say it's getting bad.
Oh, no, it's to the point where he must be gone. Adams is just too
Fire
stupid.
Don Granado.
I know.
Somebody
I really
hashtag
want
it.
the only person that will make me feel really good about just being right about this 2 years ago now.
Evan?
Yes, I need to hear him say it. And the only reason I need him to hear him say it is because he was so just for Granado. He was so optimistic. He was defending him at every turn, at every avenue I tried to take. There's Evan at the end of the alleyway, like, where are you going? And at this point, I don't know how you can defend him anymore. There's nothing redeeming about him. There's nothing. He changed a whole system that was at least half decent in the league last year. He changed it all around, screwed it, and made us a bottom team again. We don't know how to score power play goals. We now know how to penalty kill.
I was going to say, you know how to stop him, though.
Right, yeah, which is great. Why can't we put the two together? We sign old guys who have no reason of being here because Donnie wants them because they play a key part in the franchise. And then he decides, oh, yeah, an offenseman or a defenseman's hurt. Let's not bring up an offensive guy. Let's just play 13 forwards and 7 defensemen because that's the way the league is going. I will say this, and people will get mad at me for this. He is Ralph Kruger 2.0. He is just a better-looking Ralph Kruger. He's not a soccer coach. I'm sorry. If that made you offended, I don't care because that is truth at this point. He has had 3 years, and he has done nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't care how close he's been because at the end of the day, the close only counts in horseshoes. It only counts in horseshoes. At the end of the day, results are results, and he does not get the results. He is a bum. He is worthless. Why did we sign him to an extension? Oh, I don't know, because they're a bunch of bums. And I don't think, and here's the reason why they probably did the extension too. Terry doesn't want to do another restructure, clear out the whole building, and bring in new people. And at that point right now, if Kevin Adams is a competent GM, he has seen about 8 other coaches go this season who have either done a little bit worse than the Sabres or completely better. And somehow Don Granato is the 6th longest tenured coach in the NHL right now. With this kind of record.
With nothing to show.
With nothing to show. And he's the 6th longest tenured. The NHL is known for moving on from coaches. It's just a fact. A lot of people can step in and do better. There's a lot of people out there. No, you're not putting Matty Ellis in that position. You're firing him too. Most likely right now, what I've heard, if there is a firing, Seth Appert from the Rochester Americans would get the head coaching job of the Sabres. Because him and Adams have they're buddies. They're buddy friend pals. And it just needs to be moved. I don't even care who it is anymore. It just needs to happen. I don't care how many injuries happen. Injuries are part of the game. We can say that every day of the week. We can say the Bills lost to injuries, which they kind of did, but it's not the whole story. The whole story is about how you bounce back. Sean McDermott bounced back from the injuries.
Bounced back in ways
people did not expect. Don Granato has not. And I can make a comparison. Okay, let's take Don Granato's now first 3 years, and let's take Sean McDermott's first 3 years, right? Yeah, I know, different sports, granted, but okay. McDermott made the playoffs with a team prior to him, wasn't any of his coaching staff, still had Tyrod Taylor as the quarterback, but made the playoffs at 9-7. Takes over for Ralph Kruger, can't save the season. All right, let's move on to the next one. Still can't do anything. Second year, okay, down year. Yeah, okay. McDermott had a down year, but that's a rookie, QB. That was Josh Allen's first season. Now, Don Granato had this height in his second year. Now, with being 1 point out of the playoffs, very close to the wild card, was on the top of the world, gave all the fans the hope that they have lost throughout the years, is finally peaked again. McDermott's third year. Make the playoffs with Josh Allen and do what has been needed to done and reach the top of the peak, at least in hope. Don Granato is falling back down that mountain. He is tumbling. He put on skis at the top of the mountain and said, okay, time to go down, guys. What are we doing here?
Dan is getting
Can we not break the table?
He's getting his frustration out.
Look, I haven't been on in a while.
Listen, I get it.
Shut up, Brandon, if that was you. our live studio audience.
But I will say, it feels nice on my side.
Oh, yeah, because you have Montour, you got...
Paul Maurice was available 2.5 years ago.
Pete DeBoer was available 2.5 years ago. Bordeaux, John Tortorella, bunch of guys.
And
we
it's not like you guys
Granada.
got screwed at any point. You guys had the opportunities to go out
it's
and
not
make
like a Mike Babcock situation where he just uses us to get more money from Tampa Bay.
But you guys
it was quite literally, we didn't look at anybody. We just said, we know who it is.
Yeah.
That's why I call him Ralph Kruger 2.0. He is quite literally from the same staff from Ralph Kruger. And you expected better from a guy who was on Ralph Kruger's staff? If anything, that should be a red flag, a major, I'm not even talking a red flag of waving of hey, watch out, could be danger. I'm quite literally, you printed out a whole giant flag, laid it out across the floor and said, hey, guys, you see this flag? That's what you're doing. Sorry, am I mad? I can't tell.
I can't tell either, honestly.
I am really mad.
It's just passion.
It really is.
It's passion.
It
about the
really
sport
is.
and the team.
After now, because I have that feeling that, maybe this is looking on and it's still yet to be determined if I do agree with this in my future self. But I am worried that the New York Jets will make the playoffs next season and the Buffalo Sabres become the laughing stock. I mean, we're already a laughing stock, but a bigger laughing stock around the whole country.
The Mets still exist.
Yeah, Mets are still there, bud.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. We'll be the longest team that hasn't made the playoffs.
Yeah, but people don't care.
People
do
in Buffalo care.
People in Buffalo care, but national, they see Sabres and they're like, what is that?
Look,
you ask
I
somebody
always
from anywhere not Buffalo, they're like, "What's Buffalo?"
Or they just laugh because they actually know what it is, and
Well,
they're just like, "Wow."
You know what? I will say this. Currently on a 2-game win streak. You guys are third to last in the Atlantic. You jumped Montreal.
Not
You
not
jumped
two,
Montreal.
not above 2 teams, but third to last.
I mean, it is really
Canada,
funny.
Oh, Canada.
It is really funny to think that the Sabres still have somewhat of a chance just because of how bad the East is this year, in the sense of the wild card teams. I mean, you are 3 points behind the Washington Capitals. You are 3 points behind the New Jersey Devils. You are 3 points behind Pittsburgh. You are 4 points behind the Islanders. I mean, really, the next mark is Detroit at 58 and Toronto's at 58. But really, we're going off the Red Wings because Toronto still has 2 games in hand on you, and you are probably not making that up. At least you have a game in hand on Detroit, so I guess you can come within 8.
How bad?
I mean, that's the positive, if you can think there's a positive.
It's bad.
How bad do you want to make it though? If it's that tight because the East is so bad, like how bad do you want to make it just to get first rounded?
Whoa!
Just to get first rounded. There's a chance.
I mean, really,
how bad
at this point,
as a
just make the
Sabres fan
playoffs.
do you want to make it?
Just make it.
Yeah. It's not even a case of can he do it. It is a case of will he.
That's what I felt with like the Panthers last year. Because last year we were a wild card team. Like we were not good. And then so when they put us all together and they said you're facing Boston,
Easy.
I was just happy that we were there.
But I love how our organization. I mean, I've lived through years now. You know, I've been alive.
I sure
I've
hope.
been here.
I've been alive. I haven't been
comas.
living under a rock. But you can see teams in the NHL who fire their coach, you know, maybe halfway through the season. They don't make it at the end of halfway through the season with that new interim coach. But that interim coach stays. And he has a year to change it up. You know, 2 years. Usually the like standard, you get 2 years to figure it out in the NHL. You know, I've seen teams not do well the first year, but then that second year, the team somehow finds the players they need, the staff they need, the coaching they need, they actually become a competent franchise, Philadelphia. I mean, it's shocking that teams are able to do that. And the Sabres, for, 13 years now, haven't done that once. Isn't that great?
Almost last year.
It doesn't matter almost. I said close only matters in horseshoes. It really sucks seeing teams being able to go from such a quick rebuild, except for Arizona, because Arizona has its own problems that are stupid and they don't deserve to be in the league.
Yes.
But it's funny to see like how every other team can, figure it out. And for some reason, the Sabres aren't getting the memo. It's like when it's pajama day and you show up in a suit and tie. How does that work? I mean, it is just, I've been at the end of the rope. I mean, this is just further extending the rope, farther and farther away. I mean, the only reason I'm very happy about the Sabres at this point is because every day I feel like it's closer and closer to getting Granato fired. And every day that I watch this team, I knew I had no hope from the beginning, and it continues to stay the same. I think you can ask, and Evan, you could ask. I know I could ask Tanner, and Tanner would have some very colorful words to say about the Buffalo Sabres this year. And it is just basically that they all had hope. Everybody just had that hope. And I said at the beginning of the season, don't hold on to it. Let go before it even starts. Just let it. Don't think about it. Just take it as they're going to suck. Because at least if you have the mindset that they are going to suck, if they do better than they suck, you're actually happy. You're actually like, wow, this team's actually, doing what I thought they could do, or what I hoped they could do, but without putting in the hope. And you can be happy and exciting watching the games. But when you put hope in before the season even starts and then they suck, it is just like the 5 stages of grief. I mean, really, I think most people are at that point. Like, I've heard Bulldog on WGR, like, contemplating how much longer the Sabres will be in Buffalo, because this isn't a good market scheme. This isn't a good business. A team that's barely getting maybe 14,000 a game, where considerably the rest of the NHL is at 17, 18. You're at the lower half. How much profit are you making? You're not. You're probably not. The profit being made in KeyBank Center is actually the Buffalo Bandits.
That is
the
true,
Buffalo Sabres are not making profit, most likely. I would like to, I mean, just let that sink in. The Buffalo Sabres, which are in a top 4 sport around the U.S., aren't making a profit. While a team that is not in the top 4, is not that well known, is on the up, and is not in many places, is bringing in more money than the one in the top 4. Great. Yeah, great. How much longer are they going to be here? Not much longer. And I've heard, I've heard some people trying to reason, like, oh, maybe you keep Granato and Adams for one more year. Let them figure it out again.
No.
I heard that on Sports Talk Saturday, I think, this past week. And I'm like, what? No, wait. At the beginning of the season, we were talking if he sucks, we fire him. Now we're talking about, well, he sucks, let's keep him. What changed? What changed here?
I don't have an answer for you.
Exactly. There is no answer.
You know what? We're going to, after that little beautiful rant, we're going to take a little break here.
It's going to be all Frank.
It will.
The Frank Show.
Oh, God.
The Frank the Tank Show.
We could stall a little bit longer for you, Frank. That way you don't have to talk.
Yeah, we could.
Hour.
I mean, you want me to keep going on the rant?
No,
I got more.
There's other rants, like the fact that Bill Belichick's kid is officially a defensive coordinator
for Washington
at the college football league.
Oh, good for him, though. I mean, I will love to see all the memes that come out of Washington now.
And then you got
of him licking his lips at every 2 little things.
Not only that, but Jim Harbaugh, his son, is now the special teams coordinator over in Seattle. Jay Harbaugh will be making the special teams move for the Seattle Seahawks next season, which is pretty cool. It's kind of crazy to think that a guy that kind of looks as young as Jim does has a son who's a coordinator in the NFL now. That's kind of crazy, but that is the thing.
Yeah, and there's also Cliff Kingsbury.
Yes, Cliff
almost
Kingsbury.
messed up his last name. Getting the
Washington,
OC position at Washington for Dan Quinn.
Which is funny because they replaced Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which is what a weird move to make.
You know what's funny too is I was actually reading. I don't have the tweet now, but apparently Bieniemy is still on the website as
he probably will be
coordinator.
for a day or two. Remember, it was just made yesterday, so it's kind of
probably take some time.
It takes a day or two for
it is Washington we're talking about.
That's
so.
true.
But
Their
anyway,
stadium is.
We do have a caller, Fred from Kenmore. What do you want to talk about?
Hey, so I'm late to the dance here, and I was just listening about 3 minutes ago. I just tuned in, and I just wanted to mention when you guys were chatting about the Bandits, 2 things. The Bandits players, and I would venture to say the players in that league play for the love of the sport. And I was a fan more, 15 years ago, 20 years ago than I am now when they first came. And trivia fact, the Bandits are the only, if you call lacrosse a major sport, they're the only team to ever win a world championship in their expansion year, their first year.
Oh.
So just trivia fact. But anyhow, they play for the love of the sport because they're grossly underpaid for everything that they do, and that, like you said, the income they generate. And then the second thing is that, are you guys? I see. I caught a half a comment. Are you saying that there's radio reports and rumor mills that the Sabres are being sold or leaving or something like that?
No. There's just been, I think just some have mentioned just how much longer can they be here on this kind of profit. And I mean, it is a question to wonder. I mean, really thinking about it, you've had 13 years of just horrible hope, and you try to get this fan base back into it, and I think it's getting to the point, when's the final straw going? When is there going to be like a call for Terry Pegula to be, sell the team? When is there going to, and who knows if that new owner, if they do sell the team, keeps them in Buffalo? I mean, that's always been a big worry.
Even the Bills, they were at one point being talked about being relocated, being moved.
If there wasn't a contract deal put in place.
I don't see why not the Sabres aren't going to be in a conversation like that when they keep producing like the way they have and are unprofitable.
And I think the other thing to look at with, if the Sabres get sold, I really think Terry Pegula got into the buying of team business for the Bills. I mean, that's what it comes down to. He's putting a lot more money into the Bills than he is the Sabres and Bandits combined, probably. I mean, it's weird that a guy who owns the Sabres, and because he owns the Sabres, he owns the Bandits, but he also owns another lacrosse team in the Rochester Nighthawks. That's a little weird. I mean, I've never really heard of an owner owning two teams in the same league before.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, so it is a wonder. Has Terry been trying to sell the Sabres, but he wants to stay in the lacrosse game because he knows it's on the up, so he says, hey, let me buy another lacrosse team, because I'll lose the Bandits if I sell the Sabres.
Yeah.
One last thing, this could be certainly accused or judged to be a sexist remark, but somebody that I know that's pretty well connected with the Bills says that Brandon Beane and McDermott laid the law down and said, if we take the job, in a sense, 5 years ago or 6 years ago, or 7 years ago now, whenever it was, if you want us, we get full control of the football operation, and we're not going to be more or less told what to do or micromanage. Whereas Kim Pegula was, again, this source I have is questionable, and it sounds a bit sexist, but Kim Pegula was given the reign over the Sabres. And I'll take let me know if you heard anything like that, and I'll take the comments off the air. Thanks, guys. You're doing great like usual. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
I mean, the thought of that could be there. I mean, there is a possibility that, they are married. They are both into sports. I wouldn't be shocked if Terry said, I want the Bills. You can have the Sabres and the Bandits. It's kind of a fair trade in the sense. I mean, at the time being when they bought the teams, it was kind of fair. Yeah. I mean, now looking at the Bills, it's really unfair for that kind of trade. But at the beginning, it was really fair. And I think they're both pretty much very well open owners. They are very much, we will do what's best for the team. Just tell us what you need to do. And with McDermott and Beane saying that they won't be micromanaged, I don't know if that's true. I don't think it's true. I don't ever see or hear. Usually when an owner gets ticked off at a coach and GM, they usually fire the coach and GM.
Yeah.
Ralph Wilson did that. If you don't remember Bill Polian, Bill Polian got fired because he, I think he said his daughter's piano skills sucked or they were horrible. It was something along the lines of that. But I remember that Wilson didn't appreciate that, and supposedly at the beginning of the 1992 season, Bill Polian was told that he was fired and that he stuck it out throughout the season until the end of 1993. I remember seeing an article about that. I can't remember for sure where it's from, but I mean, if an owner would be ticked off about that, I think they wouldn't allow them to be there. I think it's a pretty open business for the Bills. I think McDermott and Bean I could see they want full control of what they want to do, but I don't think they said, oh, we don't want a woman telling us what to do. I don't think they went that far. I just think we don't want as much owner input as you think you need. Because a lot of owners now, if we look at Carolina, if we look at the Panthers with David Tepper, he has the whole franchise in his hand. Yep. And I think Bean and McDermott just wanted to make sure it wasn't going to be like that, where they are forced to do and go forward with the owner's decisions. But yeah, I don't think, and I do want to go back to the Bandits really quick with their underpayment. Yes, they are very underpaid. They should get big contracts, and they are starting to get bigger contracts. I mean, Josh Byrne just signed a 5-year deal with the Bandits. I think Dane Smith just did like an 8-year. I mean, they are starting to get paid amounts. I just think it's hard for an up-and-coming sport in the sense that it's not normal lacrosse either. Yeah. It's box lacrosse. It is a completely different sport within the entirety of the lacrosse sport. You don't have as much room. Walls are in play. I mean, I think it's sometimes very much more aggressive because it's closer quarters. You know, there's not as much field to run away. And there's a lot more pads for a reason. You see those goalies in normal lacrosse. You see them just with like a chest pad and the big, lacrosse stick. But in box lacrosse, they are like dressed out in pads. They have a blocker on their hand. I mean, it is quite literally, I just a completely two different separate sports. And I hope they start getting paid soon. They deserve to be paid a lot of money. I mean, a lot of them do, both the NLL and the PLL, which is Premier Lacrosse League. It's kind of like their second, so they stay pretty warm throughout the year.
Yeah.
And, I think they're getting to a point, lacrosse, where they're starting to branch out. They're starting to get more people involved. And with that, we got to go.
Yeah, we got to go.
Yeah, we do.
You listen to The Blitz on 91.3 WBNY Buffalo, Buffalo's original alternative. I'll be right back, where I will be hosting the rest of the hour by myself.
Good luck, Frankie.
So, it'll be fun.
You got this, Frank.
I'm sure there's nothing that will go wrong. I'm sure there'll be no breaks or pauses or ums from me.
I'll hear it.
You gonna listen?
No, I'll listen to record.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what?
Listen to you during class, man.
Listen, you sure can.
Hey, I'm not that type of student.
You know what? We'll be right back. I'll be right back after these short few messages. Welcome back to the Blitz on 91.3 WBY Buffalo. I'm still your host, Frank the Tank, and it's just me. I was abandoned by literally everyone. They all had class or something. Guess they didn't plan their schedules accordingly to the show. Whatever. But it's just me now. And you know what? We're going to have a great show. Great last hour here. I think we're going to start it off with some big other breaking news from the MLB, but not for new contracts, but instead a contract that was signed a while ago in December for Shohei Ohtani. Oh, what? No way.
What's up?
What are you doing here?
My class. So, long story short, for anyone listening, my schedule throughout this spring semester in 2024 is Monday, Wednesday, from 12 to about 6. I'm slammed with 3 classes, so I can't make the Blitz ever on Monday and Wednesday. Friday, I have no classes during that time. My teacher didn't show up, and we waited for about 40, 50 minutes. He said he was coming, but almost every student left. So he basically just kind of called off the class, and I was walking with one of my buddies in the class. I'm like, it's 2:50. The Blitz. Like, I'll stop by and see what's going on. It was either this or go to Two Taco. I'd rather do the Blitz.
I know. Okay, I was gonna say I think you made the wrong mistake, but ladies and gentlemen, Evan Harrington, I am not alone anymore.
How are we?
We're good. We had a good conversation the first half, and I was just prepared to talk about. There's a big in Shohei Ohtani's contract obviously the massive $750 million contract. That's very much back heavy for he gets $2 million for the first 11, and then the rest of that is everything is like $40 million. And Congress in California right now are trying to find a loophole so they don't lose over $300 million in tax money from Shohei Ohtani's contract.
Mm-hmm.
And because if they, instead of the $2 million that he would get annually, it would be close to, I think they would only get $30 million if the way that it's standing right now continues.
Interesting.
So they want to find a way to loophole that so they can get over close to $250 million out of tax money out of his contract.
It's interesting with all these contracts how they get broken down and kind of looked at, no matter the height of them or the lower end of them. Obviously now with Ohtani signing the biggest contract in MLB history, and then what we find out, like you said, his base salary is going to be $2 million a year.
Yeah,
which is ridiculous.
And it's no matter what, because you have these massive contracts come up, but now that they're getting kind of like this government/political look behind it, it's kind of sucks for Shohei and I mean, you can look at all these massive contracts from the past. Look at Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah, he had he was a 40, it was 27 years?
Yeah.
And
it ends in
27, right?
Yeah, 27, 20, around that time.
And he's been paid since the 90s.
Mm-hmm. So it's
$1 million a year?
1.2? So, yeah, $1 million basically.
So that's what Shohei Ohtani's contract's going to be, right?
Basically, but $40 million until 2050 something.
Do you think we'll ever see at a point in time in baseball where they're going to limit how far back you can push contracts?
Depending on how this...
Like obviously we know baseball doesn't have a salary cap.
Yeah. We have the luxury tax thing, but that doesn't really...
Yeah, that's really up to the owners and
Yeah.
stuff. Do you think we'll ever get to a point in time where they kind of put more of a roof over the salary cap? Meaning, yes, all right, you can go out here and sign a Shohei Ohtani for what he got? A 10 years,
$750 million.
Yeah, so he got the contract that he got. Do you think we'll see more? Like, all right, you can't actually extend it 40 years, maybe like 15, 20 at most. You think we'll put a limit on that?
I mean, I think now with this kind of garnering that kind of attraction that they probably don't want to sort of a legal process now, I think whatever precedent that's set with this contract that we see have the repercussions, I think there's going to be a shot. But for right now, I don't think that will be an option just because it's been a part of it for so long.
Yeah.
We literally have a day called Bobby Bonilla Day.
Yeah.
That it's going to keep happening to where I don't think it's really going to be that big, especially because now with this, it creates super teams.
Yeah.
They have Shohei, but it's only $2 million a year technically.
Yeah, and then they just signed that other pitcher too.
Tyler Glass now. They got someone else. But I don't think for MLB, I don't think they're going to try and enforce it just because if they can do this and create these super teams to where they don't have to worry about it until the end of Shohei's contract and playing time. So I don't think it's going to be enforced as much, but depending on how this goes with Ohtani's contract, and like I said, the precedence it's going to set, I don't think it's going to be.
And it's such a rare occurrence.
Exactly.
All right, you'll see, I don't know, I mean, you can correct me on this, but normally myself, just being the average couch-watching baseball fan that I am, I see 2 or 3 big contracts handed out every single year about, that get those 8+ year deals.
Yeah.
It's very rare, let alone to see the type of, Shohei Ohtani contract, let alone the Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah.
His contract for that extended amount of time. But then, we only see maybe 2 or 3 8-year deals a year. So it's very rare, let alone. So, yeah, I mean, it would take a lot for them to, like, really cap that down, I guess.
Yeah, because Bryce Harper, he got 11 years, but it wasn't an Ohtani. It's very much up front.
Yeah, it's an actual 11-year deal.
Yeah, so that's why the Phillies, like, they were supposed to sign Rhys Hoskins. They're supposed to keep everyone else, but they don't really have much room to play with. As with the Dodgers, they're giving the best player on earth $2 million a year, so they have time. So they have way more room and way more, cap or just money to go out and get the players that they want to create this God squad.
Yeah, and I think the interesting thing with baseball is, a lot of people were clamoring to the fact that obviously the MLB doesn't have, what do you want to call it, a cap.
Yeah.
And teams can kind of just do what they want. They can go out and throw money at players, and they can build and assemble the squad they really want to for the most part. But at the end of the day, like, a lot of these super teams that we consider super teams in the MLB don't actually end up winning the World Series.
No.
It's
because I would say the last super team was probably the Astros, who weren't really even a super team. Like, that was themselves. Like, they made that.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't going out.
It's almost like the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
The Golden State Warriors were built from the ground up.
They made themselves a dynasty, not going out until, they got Kevin Durant, but that was...
But even still, they won another year after.
Yeah, and that was still all them.
Yeah. No, and that's the interesting convo I see with baseball is like, all right, you'll go to an Instagram comment section or a Twitter thread, and all you'll see is people going at it back and forth like, this isn't fair. The Dodgers, they already have this player, that player, this player, and then they already get Shohei Ohtani. It's not coming off the tongue right. And you get Ohtani, and then they're just, oh my gosh. But then you actually take a look at it. Like, really.
Super teams baseball's a weird thing where because the Angels, they had everything. Trout, Ohtani. They have Anthony Rendon, who was a superstar before signing this contract with the Angels. They had a decent bullpen and rotation. The Angels haven't made the playoffs since 2015 with Trout.
Yeah.
So these super teams...
It's Mike Trout, arguably the greatest player in the game today outside of Ohtani. And
he's played in one playoff series.
Yeah.
And that should tell you that these super teams or teams that are built for success aren't going to always pan out.
I mean, look at the Toronto Blue Jays. You got the best player in the MLB in Vladdy Guerrero Jr., and they haven't even made it to a World Series
and
yet.
I would say top 3 shortstop in Bo Bichette. You have George Springer.
Yeah.
Did they still have Lourdes Gurriel, right?
No.
Oh no, he went to Arizona.
Well, they got Chapman.
They do have
Matt Chapman. They lost Stroman.
Yeah, to the Yankees, which is going to be a very weird sight to see.
I'm trying to remember, man, who was our second baseman?
Oh God, I don't know the Blue Jays like that.
Well, they're my team.
But this luxury cap and all that, I'm kind of getting sick of it just because as a Rays fan, we have been...
I think it was Marcus Stroman.
Stroman.
Yeah, it was Marcus Stroman. Yeah, because we lost him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we still have, Kevin Biggio and Santiago Espinal.
Yeah, the Blue Jays have a decent squad.
Oh, no, for sure. And they got the best player in the league. Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
He's the cover star of the game?
Dude, I'm not even going to lie. Like, when he got the cover star of the game, I was, dumbfounded.
I was so shocked.
I was like...
Yeah, but apparently there's, some loophole, because Acuna is the cover star for one of their app games.
Yeah, like Madden Mobile, but MLB Mobile or whatever.
But apparently the way MLB has it set up is that you can't be the cover star if you're already... Because that's why Mike Trout has never been on the cover of an MLB The Show game. Is because he is consistently the face of one of the apps.
Yeah.
So that's why he's never been on the cover of one of these baseball games.
Was Aaron Judge ever on it?
He was 18. Because then Bryce Harper was 19.
Was Ohtani on it?
Ohtani was 21.
Okay.
Oh, no, 22. Because Fernando Tatis was 21.
And they just realized what they had in their hands, the best player in the MLB. Like, we didn't give this guy a cover yet.
Listen, Jazz Chisholm was on the cover last year, so I don't think we could be out here discussing what player deserves to be on the cover.
A lot of Buffalo fanded teams are getting the cover. Josh Allen with Madden. Vladdy with the MLB.
When's Darlene's turn? When's Tage's turn on Shell?
Tage ain't getting... No, Darlene maybe. Darlene could actually... I could see Darlene getting
Darlene has a shot.
Tage...
You don't think Tage has a shot to be on the cover of Shell?
No, let's become a top 10 center first, and then
I'm telling you I'm saying it right now. It's Kachuk next year.
You think Matt Kachuk?
I think it'll be a Panther, that or a Knight.
Do you know if it's a Knight, it's going to be Jack Eichel?
Yeah, it's going to be disgusting. But you love him, so you're gonna eat it up.
Yeah, I'll be sitting here, I'll just buy it and I'll bring it in the studio and just...
Yeah, you're gonna print out a picture of it and you're just gonna have it.
No, I'll frame it in a plastic case and put it on the wall. So every time everyone walks in, Jack Eichel, cover of 2K
outrageous.
Or EA Sports 25.
Outrageous.
Right. I could see Darlene getting it though.
Darlene will Darlene has probably the best shot.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, not even close. Darlene is the best shot.
But I don't think that is a massive betting odd.
I mean, he did do a lot of behind the scenes work with EA Sports this year.
Did he really?
Yeah, going into the game. I think it was in the off season. Yeah, for NHL 24, he did a lot of off season work, like behind the scenes and stuff. So
is he trying to snake his way into the cover?
Dude, I could see it. I mean, Buffalo needs some representation.
Something
other than with the 8th pick in the 2024 NHL draft, the Buffalo Sabres select, and then we've been saying that for the last 10 years with the first overall pick in the 2024.
It's fine. Then you send him to Rochester, and then he'll be gone within the next 2 seasons.
Yeah, about that. Right. Sabres played tonight though.
We're back in.
They're tomorrow night. Play tomorrow night against Dallas. They come back after the All-Star break.
I think the Panthers come back Wednesday, so I didn't know if any teams were playing tomorrow.
Yes, the Sabres are back at home tomorrow against Dallas.
Ooh. They're riding a little bit of momentum.
They are 7-4 since the new year.
2-game win streak.
No, actually, we are seeing a more consistent Buffalo Sabres in the year 2024 than we ever saw in the tail end of 2023. In 2024, the Sabres are actually playing like a top 20-ish team. They're playing like right around a team that should be hovering towards a playoff spot, even though their supposedly best forward is not playing good offensive hockey. Like, your top line is not producing, and your leading point getter is Casey Middlestat.
Middlestat mode is...
I know. He's been playing really good.
He's insane right now.
And even with the injuries to Jack Quinn, injuries we've seen that have hit Skinner and Thompson, and Cousins has been banged up a little bit throughout the year. Now Quinn's going to be up 6 to 8 weeks, but...
Again?
Yeah. He got injured in that Sharks game before the break. You know?
I didn't know he got injured. I put up an ambulance sound for Matthias Samuelsson earlier because I saw that he is injured.
Yeah, Matthias Samuelsson is out for the remainder of the year. So Matthias Samuelsson had surgery on upper body injury and will miss the remainder of the season.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Well, that's absurd. But we have some breaking news going on right now. Some things that I missed and things that have just been reported. Eric Bieniemy will not be back for the Washington Commander staff. That is ridiculous.
Well, didn't Cliff Kingsbury sign there?
He did, yes.
As the OC.
I even put that together. I think that's a mistake for Washington. Yes, I know their season didn't end as well as I wanted it to because I like the Commanders. But Eric Bieniemy proved that he is able to do this with a pretty, I would say the Commanders have a pretty decent offense with Sam Howell and Scary Terry and Brian Robinson. Maybe he wants to find that head coaching job. I think Tampa tries to give him a call, and we hire. No, because we have a new offensive coordinator from Los Angeles, from the Rams. It's a shame. I like Eric Bieniemy a lot, but the Commanders will continue to commander, and maybe they'll do something good out of this with Kingsbury. But we'll save that for next season. But other breaking news coming out of the NFL: veteran running back Rex Burkhead is retiring from the NFL. I mean, one of the greatest postseason running backs ever in Rex Burkhead. Patriots legend. I'm going to be honest, I didn't even know he was still in the league.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say I've been keeping on the updated pathway in the NFL of Rex Burkhead. But, yeah, I mean, a heck of a career, man. Obviously, we remember Rex Burkhead with his days with Cincinnati, New England, especially myself being a Bills fan. In his little stint there with Houston at the end of his career.
I forget about the Houston.
That's kind of how what I remember Rex Burkhead for the most. Yeah, I mean, gosh, he was just kind of the reliable, do-it-all running back. He wasn't ever a guy that was going to get main touches, be the number one starter in the backfield for any team that he was representing. But if the starter got hurt or if the game plan was going a certain way and you needed that dual threat back in the backfield, whether it was next to like an Andy Dalton or a Tom Brady, you were getting that type of guy. And Rex Burkhead, pro's pro, he was really good in pass pro. Obviously, he can receive the heck out of the ball. That's a reason he was in the league as long as he was.
Yeah.
And he was a tough runner. He was a smaller back, but he was stocky and he was built and he was willing to get tough yards when he needed to. He really was just a pro's pro. Just the type of guy that you wanted in your locker room and the type of guy that you kind of wanted around on your team, no matter what, whether he was on your practice squad, your third back, your second back, or if some games you had to give him, number one running back touches, he was going to produce. He was a good back and he lasted in the league for a while, so congrats to him.
His stint with the Patriots and that playoff run with them was, I remember every time he would touch the ball, it was just dominance. But to transition over to another running back who's
10 years in the league.
Yeah, that's... I didn't
4
even
with
know.
the Bengals, 4 with the Patriots, and his final 2 with Houston. So while I nail every team he played for.
But to transition over to another running back who has been not quietly, he's very much been out of the league. He's switched from boxing, and I guess he's wants to make the switch back to the NFL. Le'Veon Bell wants to come back to the NFL and possibly wants to make a Steelers reunion. That is... Listen, I don't know what's going on with this man.
Not his boxing career.
His boxing career went absolutely nowhere. He got smoked.
Rapping career.
His rapping career was... Oh, I forgot he rapped. I forgot he made songs. Oh, he had like a small beef with...
Dude, Le'Veon Bell had some of the more unsuccessful side quests in life.
Very unsuccessful.
We see these celebrities, these athletes, influencers, public figures, whatever you want to label them as, have the chance to explore different things in their life, right? Not that many can, not many else can do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they do it, and we'll see like the successes, right? I guess just for the Paul brothers, right? They go from influencers. Jake's a boxer. Logan Paul's the United States champion, best wrestler in WWE, right? So you see these pathways that some of these people, with a platform do. And then you got Le'Veon Bell, who we all remember for being undoubtedly a top 3 running back for a few years with Pittsburgh Steelers for a few seasons. And then he had the dispute with the Steelers, the contract issue, took his 4-year contract for $44 million over to New York.
That was a massive failure.
Yep, we saw what happened with the Jets out in New York, and he just completely fell off. Tried to have a little bit of a stint with Kansas City, I believe.
Kansas City, Tampa,
Baltimore. Yeah, it was Tampa, too. Did he get a Super Bowl ring?
No. Antonio Brown did, but
Yeah, and Shady McCoy. You got 2.
yeah.
And then, now we see there's one team I'm going to come back and play for. It's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, dude, the Steelers have 2 competent running backs right now. Najee Harris. Frank, you good?
I'm great.
And Jalen Warren. These are 2 really, really solid running backs. Those running backs were one of the better duos
Najee was
of
great
rushing the football in the back half of the season.
Najee was great.
The big storyline coming into Buffalo was how are the Bills going to be able to stop Najee and Jalen?
Because it wasn't going to be Mason Rudolph. They didn't have to worry about TJ Watt. The big concern was those 2 running backs.
Yeah.
And so I don't think...
And, do you think Le'Veon Bell is going to go out and outproduce Najee?
Not right now. Not anymore.
Even though Najee Harris looks like he's walking instead of running out on the football field.
He's still producing.
Jalen Warren, the guy's the definition of a bowling ball. You're not knocking him off off of his strike path. Practice squad maybe, but I just don't see Le'Veon trying to do all of this just to get to the practice squad.
No, yeah, he would want a.
And how old is Le'Veon?
Position.
Is he 31?
He is. Oh God. Number 31.
Yeah, he's 31 years old. Oh, okay. He turns 32 in literally 2 weeks. That doesn't count. He's 32 years old. He turns 32 on February 18th.
Yeah, he's not. First off, he doesn't deserve a starting position.
No. Unless he earned it.
Yeah, but I don't think he will. I don't see much room anywhere in the NFL where he can fit him in, and he's instantly better. Especially in Pittsburgh. Maybe Dallas, but I don't think they would want to take a risk like that with Le'Veon Bell, because Tony Pollard did not have the year we thought he would. But
no, I was never a big Tony Pollard guy.
No. Especially because his breakout year, and then obviously they get rid of Zeke. But I look around and I just don't see where else he would fit in and make an immediate impact. Back to the Jets? No, they have Breece Hall. They don't need him. It's surely not the Bills. Buccaneers don't need him. Jaguars don't. There's nowhere, realistically, where he fits in and would be an immediate RB1.
Yeah.
Unless he still has his speed and elusiveness and is able to do what Le'Veon Bell did best, then maybe. But
Le'Veon Bell wasn't really known for his speed.
He was
known for his patience and his change of direction.
Especially behind that line of scrimmage, and just sit there and then be able to make his quick plays.
He was good, breaking down what was in front of him and finding his own hole. He created his own hole, really. The line would create a hole once in a while, but the thing with Le'Veon Bell was his line did a good job of just winning up front, winning a yard downfield, which allowed Bell to kind of, be a little decisive and break down the play behind the line of scrimmage, and then that decisive speed would find his way upfield as he found his own hole and kind of created it for himself with the help of his offensive line up front. But he couldn't play like that in New York.
No.
Just didn't have the line.
Adam Gase was awful.
Yeah.
One of the worst head coaches, I think, in NFL history. And I don't know. Apparently, Cameron Hayward would welcome Le'Veon back with open arms. No word from Mike Tomlin, but I don't think he's going to say anything about this. But it seems like some of the veteran players would be happy to have him back.
Oh, I'm sure.
Unless he can be the all-star player he was, or Pro Bowler, I don't think it's going to work out for him. He's been on 3 different practice squads. You're telling me he didn't do anything fantastic there, that they were like, oh, let's give him a shot. Let's give him a minimum, or at least a 2-year, $8 to $12 million contract. He was on 3 different practice squads, and nobody saw that and was like, we need him right now.
Yeah.
So
I have a question.
Yes.
Do we take a quick break?
We take a quick break.
And do we talk WWE?
Yeah, we do. It's
Why
sports,
not,
baby.
dude? We're not.
Because you know what? ESPN's covering it.
We're never going to have just. Well, I mean, if we had Justin, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I know.
We have three of us, but. I mean.
You know, I'm down because I'm ready.
Wait, I just have a quick question before we go to break. Did you mention my name on the air earlier?
Did I?
Or one of you guys, whoever was here? Because my buddy, so I have a funny story before we go to break here.
We did, because we talked about the Is It a Kick episode.
Yeah. Okay. My buddy, Jared, I don't know if you're listening out there. Friday, he was going to the gym, and he sent a video or something to our friend group. And he goes, Is that Evan? I don't know how he got to 91.3 FM, WBNY, the radio station, but he was just on there going to the gym, and we were in his car on the radio.
Let's go.
So that was pretty funny. So that was Friday's episode. So that was, everyone that was here was me, you, Justin, and Chris. I thought that was pretty funny.
Look at that. We're making people's days.
Mr. Worldwide, Pitbull, step aside.
It's us now.
We're actually just Mr. Erie County.
Yeah. We'll take it, though.
Not even really Erie County. We're more just like 1/3 of Erie County.
Yeah,
but
we'll take it.
Either way.
Listen, impact is impact.
Yes, indeed.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, listen, Evan, I love your idea because I have so many thoughts and ideas running through my head right now, and I need to vent.
Yeah. You know what? This is I guess for anyone listening, this is all we're going to That's all you're getting. That's all you're getting. That's a little sneak preview.
Little kingdom. We'll be right back on 91.3 WBNY. Just stay tuned right after these short few messages. Whoa! Welcome back to the Blitz on 91.3. I'm still Frank the Tank. Evan Harrington has joined me in Studio A. And if you're listening, you know what this song is.
You should.
You know what we want. You know what we need. And that's We Want Cody. And yes, we are allowed to talk about this because ESPN's covering it. It's everywhere right now.
Hey. I'll die on this hill. WWE is the second biggest sport in North America. I'll die on that hill, right behind football.
Between the profit they're making and everything,
and the viewership, completely week to week,
over
100 million YouTube subscribers.
Peacock subscriptions are the only reason I think are keeping that whole thing alive.
The Netflix
is
new
coming
deal,
out,
2025, $5 billion deal.
So many things are happening that were, we were heading into 2024. Great. We ended 2023 on an amazing note in the WWE, but we're starting off 2024 on a little rocky hill right now. I'm not too happy about it.
Shaky waters.
And if you know what I'm talking about, besides Vince McMahon, what's happening currently on TV is what we're here to talk about, and that is Cody Rhodes is getting screwed. And I don't know if they're doing this on purpose. I don't know what's going on in the head but anyone in the back. I don't know if this is a Triple H thing. If this is, I don't know if Bruce Pritchard's there anymore. Whoever's running creative, whoever's doing anything. I don't know what's happening, but it's sickening.
Yeah. So for context, for anyone who might not be the biggest WWE fan, might just be more of a casual viewer who maybe just watches a WrestleMania every year or whatever. Long story short, what happened was Cody Rhodes won back-to-back Royal Rumbles for the first time in almost 30 years, 26 years, I'm pretty sure to be exact. The only three guys to ever won back-to-back Royal Rumbles, Hogan, Michaels, Austin, right? So they throw Cody Rhodes in the Mount Rushmore of the four guys who have won back-to-back Royal Rumbles, right? those are 3 all-time greats, and you throw a 4th guy in there who has the potential to be another all-time great when he's all said and done in his career in Cody Rhodes. So he wins the back-to-back Rumbles, right? We kind of all know this journey with Cody. It's finish the story.
His whole thing is
finish
the story.
So after he wins the Rumble for the second time in 2 years, he gets up on the turnbuckles, points at the Mania sign, points towards Roman, goes on live TV the next night, or pretty sure the next night, or either on Friday Night SmackDown, goes, I want this title. I want this title, right? He goes, I don't look at this title like the Hollywood title, like Rollins called it. I think that title is the WWE Championship. I think it's the highest achievement of honor in the company. And also, mind you, they give him the cover of 2K. He's the cover athlete. He's the face of wrestling right now. He's the face of WWE. He is the modern day John Cena. He is the John Cena what the John Cena was to Austin.
Yes.
Right? He is John Cena of this generation. Whether you like him or not, he is this generation's John Cena at this point in time.
And I don't see how you don't.
WWE has put all their eggs in the basket with Cody Rhodes. And The Rock came back to WWE as a on the board of directors for TKO, who oversees WWE alongside UFC. And he had a $30 million incentive thing in his contract that he had to get back in the ring. And he is pretty much forcibly throwing himself in the main event of WrestleMania because of the contract that he has with TKO. This is over the heads of a Triple H. This is over the heads of a Shawn Michaels. This is over the heads
of everyone.
Of everyone actually inside WWE. This is an outside screw job on Cody Rhodes.
And I don't understand. Tonight is Monday Night Raw,
which is Cody Rhodes' show.
I am expecting basically a takeover.
Yeah.
If you were watching wrestling in 2014, you probably remember Daniel Bryan and the Yes Movement, where everyone was looking at the company and be like, we don't want these two guys. We don't want to see these guys fight. We want to see Daniel Bryan. That's our guy. We want to see him. I expect Cody Rhodes to have the same treatment tenfold.
Yeah.
I expect everything that was happening with Daniel Bryan to be applied to Cody Rhodes.
And I think it's going to be bigger. You want to know why?
Yeah.
Because no disrespect to Daniel Bryan, but Daniel Bryan wasn't the star Cody Rhodes was now.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan was, he won a world title. He won the Money in the Bank. Like, he had matches.
He was successful.
But he was more in that, I don't really know how to compare, but he was more like a Sami Zayn type guy.
He wasn't cover star. He wasn't doing interviews every week.
And then he kind of found his way to the top of the company. Cody Rhodes, for 2 years, was the top guy. Like, he won the Royal Rumble. He main evented WrestleMania the year before.
Was the best thing of WrestleMania 2
He was the hottest free agent probably in WWE, or in wrestling in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
He is, like, already established. And then you got over 500, what is it, like 400, 500,000 posts about Cody Rhodes on Twitter in 24 hours.
He was number one trending for
in
8
the
hours.
world. In the world. Mind you, you know what was going on this weekend? The NFL Pro Bowl, the NHL All-Star Game, the Grammys. Movies have been coming out. Like,
yeah, consistently.
There's
big things happening.
Big things in the world, like the Grammys. Like, whether people like celebrities or not. Like, Taylor Swift just dropped an album.
Yeah.
And Cody Rhodes is more popular than Taylor Swift.
As of right now, Cody Rhodes we want Cody is the number
hashtag
one
we
trend.
want Cody is more popular than Taylor Swift's new album that's going to drop soon. The release of it. The Grammys, more popular, Cody Rhodes.
And
NFL, the largest sport in the U.S., in North America.
I don't know how anyone at TKO and WWE see the outpour and outrage that The Rock is getting. And like, I like Dwayne. I do. I like The Rock. But it's over. I'm done with this bringing back old timers. It doesn't even feel like this is what they wanted. Everything There was a stare down in October between Cody and Roman, and that was the first time that they saw each other since Mania. And that sent the internet into wildness. It was like these two finally get to see each other again, and it's going to be epic when they finally fight again. Cody wins the Rumble, honestly, unexpectedly. I went in there, was like, oh, Punk's winning.
Gunther.
I thought Punk was winning, Gunther was winning, not really anyone but Cody, but I was like, they're not going to do Cody 2 years in a row. They do Cody 2 years in a row. They have the shirt ready. They have everything ready. They have him point to Roman and say, I want you. And then he just
gives it up.
He lets The Rock come out. And then the handshake that they give and the face on Cody is heartbreaking. Because he's worked so hard from the independent scene, from AEW to now, and reestablishing himself as the face of the company.
Fighting with a torn pec.
Pec? The Rock is going to fight 5 minutes. It's going to be one of the worst things we're ever going to see. And I don't know what's happened, because you had the chances to have one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time, with or without Punk. And now it's going to be a match that maybe a year, 2 years ago would have been cool. But now we have
I even think next year would be fine.
I am cool with next year.
Like, dude, it's not that the fact that like The Rock's too old to fight, because like we saw Stone Cold at 58 years old, or what is he, 54 at the time, whatever.
Yeah, he was 50. He was 50. Something.
Yeah, and he fought Kevin Owens, and he did a really good job in that match. And it wasn't a 5-minute match.
Yeah, and even though Stone Cold won, they made Kevin Owens look really good.
Yeah,
but the reports coming out is that like, apparently he was even kind of like throwing the suggestion out there that he wins.
Yeah. In what world do we need to see The Rock as champion again?
It didn't need to happen in 2013 when he beat Punk at the Rumble.
That was pointless. That ended a great run.
Yeah. And if it happens again with Roman, it's gonna ruin, like.
And what, we're gonna go from part-time to part-time?
Because I've never had more, like, I grew up loving it. I grew up watching it. This is like the first time where I am consistently checking and watching every week to make sure I don't miss anything. I'm watching NXT weekly just to make sure I don't miss anything.
I didn't watch so for anyone who doesn't know what NXT is, it's WWE's developmental brand. It's basically the AHL, it's a farm system pretty much.
Yeah, minor league.
And they hold their own pay-per-views. They don't do big NFL stadiums or arenas, but you know they'll pack a few thousand people.
Yeah.
In a smaller stadium, and they had NXT Vengeance Day yesterday, and the pay-per-view went good. Right, It was a really good pay-per-view. But anytime The Rock was shown on like these WrestleMania,
they're having like a press conference
on
this Thursday.
All years,
you hear boos, and you see a ton of "We want Cody," "Go away Rock" signs.
And this is I don't know how many people. I'm gonna just estimate 3,000 to 4,000 people were at this arena.
Probably, yeah.
Booing, and like those are like the diehard. They die hard. Like if you're going to an NXT pay per view, you're more likely than not more like a legit diehard wrestling. You're probably watching TNA consistently. You're probably
watch it. I watch TNA consistently.
Yeah, so yeah, you're a diehard. But
it's
and stuff like that. But dude, I can't. Like, so tonight's Raw is in St. Louis. And really, if WWE fans want like WWE to change their plans to have Cody fight Roman at Mania, it's gonna have to start tonight with the St. Louis Raw crowd.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to be chanting, "We want Cody." When Cody comes out, it's gonna have to be, "We want Cody." Like, I'm sorry, like, and this might be disrespectful to other superstars, like. So Gunther has a 600-day Intercontinental Championship reign celebration tonight. I'm sorry, like during that, it's gonna be "We want Cody." Like they're gonna have to hijack the show.
They have to hijack it.
They have to hijack the show. They're gonna have to throw WWE for a loop. Like if everyone's really serious about this, yeah. Like don't get me wrong. People like us can just sit on our computers and type "We want Cody."
Type "We want Cody," but unless they hear us,
you got to be there. You got 10 plus thousand people. It's gotta be like surreal.
I have a feeling it's gonna happen. Like I truly believe it, because this has gotten this has gone international. Like companies are tweeting out, "We want Cody."
Logan Paul,
he
Ricochet
went out of his way just to straight up go, "We want Cody." Ricochet said it. Independent wrestlers are coming out saying, "We want Cody."
Fluffy?
Fluffy came out and said, "We want Cody." Yeah, Gabriel Iglesias. It's gotten so big that if they,
did you see the Rock get ratioed?
I did see that. So when they he posted on Twitter, just like talking about like the moment and be like, "Oh, it's electric. I'm the people's champ." Blah 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 blah. Eyebrow. And then someone was just like, yeah, whatever. Hold this ratio, and it's just a picture of Cody Rhodes doing his whoa pose.
You know what we need? We need Taylor Swift to tweet it out.
That's what I saw. A lot of like tweets being like, "Hey Swifties, Cody Rhodes is a massive fan. The Rock doesn't like Taylor Swift. Can you like come over here real quick and help out?" That's what I think. That's what we have to do. We just have to branch out. And be like, "Yo, we need help," because they're not going to listen to us because they hate us. But it doesn't make sense because we've been such on a good roll, like creatively, and every week has been fantastic. And now all of a sudden, Rock shows up, and it's.
And again, I don't think this is I don't think this is WWE.
It can't be.
This is not okay.
This is not Triple H's WWE.
This is a Vince McMahon type move.
Yes.
Right? This would be something Vince McMahon would do. And now let me just say this. I am all for Rock and Roman. Like I want to see it. Like I want to see Rock and Roman.
I would want to see it,
but I don't want to see it now.
No.
You know you watch Santi?
Yeah, I watch Santi on TikTok.
So I was watching because he does YouTube videos too, and he was basically saying like this is like a match like everyone wants to see Rock and Roman.
Yes.
There's no disagreement there. Everyone wants to see Rock and Roman. It is honestly the biggest dream match you can have at this point in time currently.
Yeah.
Rock and Roman, no doubt. But at this point in time, with everything that has been set up, you can't just bury Cody.
Yeah.
You can't bury Cody.
And the way they did it was they buried Rollins.
Yeah, they
buried the World Heavyweight Championship.
They basically buried every wrestler that has fought Roman.
Yeah.
Pretty much. They buried McIntyre, buried Balor, buried AJ Styles, buried Rollins, buried LA Knight. We're on our way to burying Cody Rhodes, I thought that guy already got buried with
multiple times.
Stardust, and
when he was doing the stupid mustache, then Stardust. How you can't like
something Cody Rhodes. Whoa!
But it's just the promo that they gave on that SmackDown with Roman burying Rollins, burying the World Heavyweight Championship, then burying Cody, and then making Cody look like an idiot. Not even a week ago, he was pointing at the sign, then point to Roman and be like, "It's you. It's you. We're doing this now. We're doing it again." And you're going to let, if this really was a Rock idea, he needs to leave.
Well, he tried doing this with DC.
Yeah.
He tried taking over DC.
Black Adam. Then he did the XFL 2.0. That failed, had to merge. Stay away. I don't think I've seen a Rock movie in the past 6-7 years that's been profitable.
I like Rock movies, though.
I do, but they're not good.
Yeah.
His Fast movie, the only Fast and Furious movie he's good in is Fast 5.
Yeah.
That was 2011.
He's good in Jumanji.
Yeah, that was whatever. Talking about Jumanji.
Red Notice is pretty good.
Red Notice was funny. But that was only because of Ryan Reynolds. But it's just...
But, like, that's the thing, like... And don't get me wrong, I love The Rock. Like,
I love The Rock.
I love The Rock. Because, like, it's The Rock, dude.
It's The Rock.
Like,
he comes out...
But at the same time, like... He's got things in his contract clauses saying he can't be beat up. That's why he couldn't get beat up by Vin Diesel in Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
That's why he left. That's a big reason why, like the dispute, right? What is he not going to get beat up by Roman?
And that's what people are pulling out videos from when John Cena versus The Rock happened in 2012. Yeah. And Cena's calling him, like, he's like, "Listen, I respect The Rock, but I do not like Dwayne Johnson because he is an egomaniac son of a..." You finish that sentence on your own. And then when CM Punk cut his infamous pipe bomb, the line that's being brought up is The fact that Dwayne is in the main event of WrestleMania and I'm not makes me sick. And that, from 2011, has the same weight, bearing, and meaning in 2024 is disgusting. The Rock should not be, the way they've done it is...
And, like, we don't need to see Rollins and Rhodes again.
No, they've done it 3 times, and Cody's won all 3.
And it's not like this was a WrestleMania match that happened 10 years ago. Happened 2 years ago.
They're also friends now. Like,
they're on better terms.
Yeah. And I'm just... The story that they're going to have to tell with
like, what are they
going to
do?
Insane.
What are they going to do? Cody versus Roman at Elimination Chamber? And then what? Rhodes and Randy for the title? Mania?
I was hoping they were going to swerve this to a way where maybe Roman was going to be on Chamber and they were going to have to get The Rock. But the way it looks like it's not, that's not what it's going to be. Because if you had Roman beat The Rock at Chamber and then Cody beat him at Mania, it made Cody's moment 10 times better. But now it's Cody stepping aside for The Rock.
Which I just don't like. And you know what? I saw this meme earlier. We got about a minute left here before we have to end things.
Yeah, I know.
So, I mean, when The Rock came back a couple months ago and he confronted Austin Theory,
yeah,
they were like, this is what a real legend coming back and helping out people. If John Cena's WrestleMania match against Austin Theory was good enough, Rock, you could fight Austin Theory at WrestleMania too.
Yeah. Cena hasn't once in so long.
Dude, he put over Solo Sikoa.
Solo with 7 spikes, and he won clean. Cena hasn't... It hurt. Like, I love The Rock. I love The Rock as a kid. Everything he's done. Every time I saw him, I'd always be like, that's The Rock from wrestling. That's not Dwayne Johnson. I'd always be like, that guy.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, that's The Rock.
But I don't think he's that guy anymore.
No, he's not. He's
just The Rock.
He's Dwayne Johnson, the Hollywood actor, no longer WWE superstar.
And like,
he's not in my eyes.
I love The Rock coming back to try to help the WWE, but not in this capacity.
Not in this way at all. Because we've built up Cody for 2 years, and this has been the story. I have 2 T-shirts that say "Finish the story." Now they mean nothing. I've wasted $40 on T-shirts, and now I have nothing to show for it. I have no Cody winning at Mania moment. I have nothing. Well, we've had a great show today. I'm glad we ended it with that. Never get really talk. I always just throw little bits and pieces of wrestling in here. But able to have a full conversation about it, about a thing that's being covered worldwide.
This blows my mind. Logan Paul should be champion.
Logan Paul versus...
Full-time superstar now.
Full-time. He's back, and I'm so happy for it. Logan Paul on TV means ratings, and it means good things for WWE. The Rock on consistent wrestling television right now is not good, and I don't want it. Just give me Cody Rhodes.
Whoa!
Cody. Evan, throw out your socials.
You can follow me on Twitter at EvanH716. You can follow me on Instagram at EvanHarrington_63. And on TikTok, where I haven't posted in about a year and a half, at NFL Analyst.
And you can find me on Instagram at FrankLopez_561 or on Twitter at Frank561Lopez. You listen to The Blitz. We'll catch you here Wednesday, same time as usual. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. We'll see you real soon.